What's more dangerous to your leadership than failure? Faking it. Today, let's look at how Jesus exposed hypocrisy and answer the question, are you leading with integrity? I'm Chris Moore, and this is Lead in 10, where we explore what it means to lead like Jesus in real-world situations. In Matthew chapter 23, Jesus doesn't hold back. He's speaking to the crowds and his disciples, and he goes straight at the religious leaders, the scribes and the Pharisees. These men were respected. They were feared. They dressed the part. They spoke with authority, and Jesus saw what others couldn't, the disconnect between their public image and their private hearts. In verse 27, Jesus delivers a gut punch. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones. Ouch. Jesus wasn't trying to be mean. He was calling out a leadership crisis, prioritizing appearance over authenticity. He chose his words because of how they would bite into the scribes and the Pharisees, but also in the crowd who followed them. Leaders lose their influence when their public life looks polished, but their private world is rotting. We see this all the time amongst politicians, amongst business leaders, and unfortunately, amongst church leaders. Jesus teaches us that integrity is not about your image. It's about alignment between what we preach and what we practice, what we say we do and what we actually do. If you lead a team, a business, a family, you are leading others, and it's not just with your words, but with your life. People can sense that hypocrisy. Certainly our kids know everything about it. It erodes trust, slowly at first, and then all at once. That's why Jesus didn't mince words. He knew that fake leadership hurt people, that it was hurting his people. It sets a toxic tone. It teaches others to pretend instead of grow. I believe most people knew exactly what was going on, but they just fed into that culture. I mean, think of a business leader who insists on punctuality, but then always shows up late, who preaches transparency, but hides every financial decision, who talks about valuing people, but they burn through staff every few months. Eventually, people, they stop listening. They might still show up, but they're checked out. They know how you really are. On the flip side, a leader who owns their mistakes, admits their flaws, and works on them openly, that leader begins to build real credibility. Jesus isn't just warning leaders, he's inviting us to reflect. What part of your leadership is more about image than about truth and integrity? Are you more concerned with how others see you, especially from outside your organization? Or are you concerned with becoming the kind of person that God has called you to be, who can lead those around you? Jesus wasn't just confronting the Pharisees. He was setting a standard for his disciples and for all of us. Be the same person in private that you are in public. Later on, we see Paul talking to Peter about how Peter is one way about eating food when he is with the Jews and another when he is with the Gentiles. He's actually calling out Peter based on this scripture that we're looking at. This is Jesus confronting the Pharisees. Peter is falling into the same trap, and he makes a change. And that's what we have to do. So I want you to take inventory. Are there areas in your leadership where outside looks healthy, but on the inside, things need attention? Maybe it's the way you treat your team behind closed doors. Maybe it's your attitude towards competition. Maybe it's how you handle money, time, or pressure. Invite God to shine a light into those areas, not to shame you, but to grow you. Integrity is not about perfection. We don't have it. We never will, but it does mean honesty. It means humility. And it definitely means a willingness to grow and an active action where we are trying to grow and improve. So ask a trusted person, someone who is in your circle this week, is there an area where I'm leading with image instead of integrity, where I'm saying one thing and I'm actually doing something totally different? And then listen. Don't defend, just receive. And then take one step to realign this part of your life, of your leadership, to do and say the same things. If this episode challenged you to lead with more integrity, send it to someone who values honest leadership. Remember that great leaders are not flawless. They never will be, but they are faithful. They are real. They are the same person on stage and off. Thanks for joining me on Lead in 10. Until next time, lead authentically, lead courageously, and lead from the inside out. I'll see you next time.